Hello and welcome to Yoga with Catherine. Today we're going to be focusing on rippling the spine, creating that mind-body connection necessary to do a move like this. And really what it leads up to is having freedom to move within the body. And I think that's something that a lot of us really want, but we don't know how to get there. So in this practice, we're going to be building that mind-body connection so that you can freely move the spine and move the body really however you'd like to. It really starts within the spine. So once you can do that ripple motion, you've got that connection. I just want you to know, doing this, if your first few tries of the ripple motion don't really work, or this whole practice feels like you just cannot move your spine, I encourage you to keep practicing and know that this is how you build up to get to that ripple motion. So don't be discouraged if that feels a little bit tricky for you. Let's get started on our backs. So on your backs, I want you to have bent knees. Your knees are going to knock together, feet out wide, toes facing in, palms to face the sky. Take a deep inhale through the nose, fill up the lungs. And a huge exhale out. Really get all of the air out of the lungs, empty them out completely. And when they're empty, take a deep inhale. And a huge exhale out. Now I want you to place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart. And I want you to notice the rise and fall of your chest with each breath that you take. I want you to create a connection with your body. Noticing everything that it does for you without you even asking, without you even knowing. Let's do a detailed scan of the body from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Muscle by muscle, bone by bone. Acknowledge any sensations that stand out to you in this moment. Acknowledge anything going on within the physical body that maybe seems like it needs a little bit of attention, a little bit of acknowledgement. So often we go day to day and these aches and pains are something that we just ignore and we just continue on and act like they aren't there. But today I don't want you to do that. I want you to acknowledge it, connect with it, and not do anything that would aggravate it. We are loving our bodies, and that's how we really connect. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale it all out. Come back to your natural cadence of breath. Bring your knees in line with your hips, and I want you to walk your heels a little bit closer to your bum so that you'll be able to graze your heels with your fingertips. They don't have to be right against, but just so that you can graze them. Make your vertebrae flush with the mat, so I don't want you to be arching here. So try to make each vertebrae able to touch the mat, if that makes sense. So there may be a slight little tuck of the pelvis here, very, very slight. Take a deep inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, I want you to send your hips high up towards the ceiling, as high as it'll possibly go. Inhale, lower all the way down. Exhale, lift back up. Inhale, lower all the way back down. Exhale, push back up. Inhale, lower halfway down this time, so don't go all the way down. And then from here, you're going to arch the spine and then send your hips all the way up. And then you're going to round to come back down to that halfway mark. So arch to lift up and then round to come down. Very tricky. A lot of squeezing of the glute is necessary here, especially when you're rounding down. So squeeze, 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 tuck in the pelvis, and then arch, kind of stick your bum out as you push up and then come back down. Taking it nice and slow, flowing through this movement. Last one, arch to come up, round to come back down, and lower down vertebrae by vertebrae. Hug your knees into your chest, maybe rock from side to side. Your glutes are probably screaming at you a little bit right now. It's okay. Deep breath in, and exhale, relax into the floor. Place your hands on top of your knees. Let's draw circles with our knees. So you're going to bring your knees out towards your armpits. Push them out and around. Bring them back to connect and draw them down the middle again. So out and around all the way until they connect and draw them back into the chest. Opening up the hips here. And then we'll push them back out and around. Nice, steady, slow breaths here. Last one. And then come back, hug your knees into your chest one more time. Bring your knees, your hands, behind your knees, and then we're gonna rock and roll to the top. So maybe you rock twice, maybe you rock just once, take however many you need until you can come all the way up to a seated position, and then we're gonna find tabletop. So bring your wrists beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. I want you to find a nice firm foundation, a long line from the top of your head all the way down to your tailbone. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, lengthen through the top of the head all the way down to the tailbone even more. Now inhale, arch as you send your belly button down towards the mat. Send your gaze out in front of you, cow. Exhale, round the spine, tucking in the pelvis, tucking in the chin, pushing the shoulder blades away from one another, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now, stay in your cat. As you come into your cow, I want you to push your hips all the way back towards your heels. And then as you round and come forward into cat, I want you to slowly take it all the way up until you feel a stretch in your shoulders, really rounding as you come up, arching as you come back, sending the tailbone back first. Exhale, round and come forward. Inhale, arch and send your bum back. Exhale, round and forward. Inhale back. Now, if this feels good for you, stay right here. Otherwise, if you want to add on and come into seal, round all the way forward. And then go past that point and start to send your hips towards your mat. Drawing your shoulder blades together, squeeze your bum and open out your legs just a little bit wider. Exhale, push back. And then you'll be rounding all the way forward again until you come straight into seal, making sure that you notice if this is in your practice today. I really don't want you to push yourself into that deep back bend if your body is saying no. So just make sure that you're listening, taking it slow, noticing sensations in your body and connecting to that. Last one. When you practice these, I really encourage you to close your eyes and just flow through movement like it's water. Just really allow your body to feel its way through this. Tuck your toes, send your hips all the way up, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, maybe rock from side to side. Do whatever you gotta do to feel good in your down dog. Loosen up. Do whatever your body is calling you to do right now. Maybe do some no motions with the head. Maybe some yes motions. Nice. All right, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, send your tailbone even higher and your chest towards your knees.
Inhale, lift the heels all the way up, so coming high onto the ball mounds of the feet. We're going to round, we're going to tuck our pelvis in as we round all the way forward into a plank position. You may have to shuffle just a little bit for your first try. And then send your tailbone all the way back, push back into downward facing dog. Now I want you to know you can keep a super deep bend in the knees. They don't have to be straight. Totally up to you with what feels good. High to the ball mounds of the feet. Round the spine as you come all the way forward into plank. Then you can have a bend in the knee or you can keep them straight. Send your tailbone all the way up, arching, and then tuck your tailbone in as you tuck your chin. Round forward. Arching back, rounding forward. One more time, arch back, and round forward. Amazing job. Push all the way back into downward facing dog. Now I want you to come on the outside of your right foot and the inside of your left, so you're shuffling your feet over to the right, kind of a weird side downward dog, a little bit of a twisted position. You can keep a bend in the knee. And now you're going to roll all the way forward, coming into a sort of twisted plank position, and then send your hips all the way down so you'll come into a side body stretch. Push all the way back up. Beautiful job. Roll forward. Deep side body stretch as you send your hips down towards the mat and push back up. One more time. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So shuffle onto the outside of your left, the inside of your right, and then roll all the way forward, side body stretch on the left. If your wrists are screaming at you right now, feel free to take a break or just stick it out for one more roll. Beautiful job. Push back down, facing dog, and then drop the knees. Child's pose. Feel free to shake out your wrists here. That was a lot on the wrists, so no worries if you need to take a little break. We'll meet in down dog in 5, down dog in 4, down dog in 3, 2, and 1. All right, ready? Inhale, right leg rises up, toes towards your mat. Exhale, hug the right knee into the chest. Step it through, low lunge, keep your hands on the ground. Shift your weight slightly over to your left hand as you send your right arm all the way up into easy twist. Now from here, we're going to come up into a high lunge, but a twisted high lunge. A lot of balance here, a lot of focus. So slowly make your way all the way up into a twisted high lunge. Not easy, very, very tricky. Deep inhale. As you exhale, come back into a high lunge, reaching your hands up towards the sky. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bow forward, sweeping your hands behind you. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, bow forward. Plant your left hand down, come back into easy twist. Fan your right hand down, push back, downward facing dog. Come high to the ball mounds of the feet. Round all the way down into your plank, and then hug the elbows into the chest as you lower all the way down. All right, so we did a little bit of a roll so that we can come into cobra pose, little to no weight in the hands. I want you to activate your back. Exhale, fold back down, tuck your toes, push back down and facing dog. All right, we're going to do that on the other side. Inhale, left leg rises up, toes are facing the mat. Exhale, hug the knee into the chest, step it through. Low lunge, both your feet are your hands are on the ground. Bring the weight over to your right hand and then sweep your left arm all the way up, easy twist. Deep inhale. As you exhale, we're going to come up into that high twisted lunge. Very, very tricky. If you focus on one spot, that'll really, really help. And then come forward into high lunge.
As you exhale, bow forward, sweeping the hands behind you. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, bow forward. Plant your right hand down, easy twist. And then bring your hands back down, push back, downward facing dog. Come high to the ball mounds of the feet, roll the way forward, come into plank. Hug the elbows into the chest as you lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, fold back down. Tuck the toes, push back. Downward facing dog. And then drop your knees. We're coming into tabletop. Now we're going to play around with a very interesting ripple. It's very tricky to do, but it's really, really fun once you get it. Kind of like riding a bike. Once you have it, but it is very tricky at first. All right, so we are in our tabletop position. I want you to have a nice firm foundation. Now, send your heels towards your bum. Then send your chest down towards the floor until it is resting on the floor. All right, you're hugging your elbows in. You're sending your bum up as high as it will possibly go. Then, as you send your feet down, I want you to tuck in your pelvis and ripple forward into cobra. Very, very weird in your cobra. Your hands are going to be a little bit further back. That's okay. And then we can just push back up. Try that again. Kick your heels to your bum. Send your chest down. Your bum is up as high as it can possibly go. As you lower your feet down, ripple all the way forward into cobra. Very, very tricky. We'll try it one more time. Tabletop. Kick your feet to your bum. Chest down. Sticking your bum out as much as it can possibly go. And then as you send your feet back, ripple forward. Beautiful job. Stay on your belly this time. My head is going to be up high, but your forehead can be resting on the mat. The reason for that is because otherwise my microphone gets a little crazy. So cactus out your arms on either side. And just rest your forehead on the mat and notice the sensation of your heart beating beneath your chest. Kick your left foot to your bum and then send your left foot up and over to get a nice deep shoulder stretch in the right shoulder. You can use your left hand to push the floor away from you to get a little bit deeper. If this is too intense, just straighten out your arm out on the right of you. So if you cactus it, it'll be deeper. If you stretch it out, it'll be not as intense. Come all the way back. Then I want you to bring your hands out on either side of you like this. So they'll just be slightly outside your mat. Send your elbows up towards the sky. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, push all the way up. We're coming into that seal pose. And then float all the way down. Cactus out your arms. Send your right foot for your bum. And then send it up and over. Deep left shoulder stretch. Slowly come all the way back. Bring your hands on either side of you. Push all the way up. Seal pose. And then float down. Now let's just flip over to our backs. Just hug the knees into your chest. Thank your body for everything that it's capable of. Acknowledge the body for everything that it's going through and everything that it's been through. Reach out your right foot and then your left to find shavasana. My friends, here's where I leave you. Feel free to stay here as long as you need, as long as you like. Connect your physical body to your spiritual, to your mental. Your non-physical being wants to connect to your physical. They are so powerful together when they connect. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I'll see you in the next one.